Good evening. My name is Likuyani Eli, and you're right in time for the late night with Eli and Nyokabi GK Kamau. Topic of the night is the red flags. You know, the red flags are not so red as they may seem, and sometimes we might get the disconnect. So, why do we have to discuss this tonight? Allow me to bring you the relationship coach and the master herself, Nyokabi GK Kamau. Karibu sana.
To the master herself. Good evening, Ellie.
Good evening. Looking bubbly as always.
Oh, thank you. How are you? Are you keeping well?
I'm keeping well, and I'm interested to have this discussion with you tonight because we are focusing on the red flags.
Yes, we should actually have a flag that is waving red so that some people can actually come to terms with
Mhm.
it's a red flag. Move on. Let it go. There's no saving the situation, there's no salvaging, there's
Hmm.
no nothing. It's dangerous. Just run away. So Ellie, I'm so excited about
Yes,
the topic of today. I'm wondering, how was your week, my brother? Welcome. We have such a big viewing. We welcome each and every one of you. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about the red flags in relationships. Ellie, how are you doing? Kabla tupatie mashabiki wetu a minute to join us.
I'm great, and I'm very happy to actually meet you. You missed out on a lot. Last night, we had a great conversation in the men's den, and for everybody that missed out, make sure you hit the replay button in our pages and, of course, on Art in Heart YouTube page. So I'll be sending down the links and the handle so that you guys can get it out. We discussed about, you know what we discussed about?
No, I know
You
you're
better
going to tell
find out.
me.
Go to
I
the
know you're
page. I'll
going to
let you
tell me.
know. Yes, yes. But
Ellie.
tonight, it is just an
Uh-huh.
addition to what we are talking about since we started off. So we are talking about the red flags in relationships. Are you in a relationship or have you been in a relationship before and experienced things that didn't really make sense? That is what Nyokabi wants to make sense of tonight. Nyokabi GK Kamau. Twende kazi na salimia watu.
Wacha nisalimie Janet Rongo anasema tutume shout out. So Janet, here is your shout out. Good evening and welcome to the show. Lewi, good evening and welcome to the show. Dimos, welcome. Miss Jane Mogore, welcome to the show. Tupa, karibu sana. Welcome each and every one of you that is joining us this evening as we talk about the red flags in relationships. Kindly post your comments on the comment section and we will be sure to respond to them. So when you talk about red flags, what are we talking about? I want you to think about a traffic stop that has three lights. And these lights, we learned them, I think, in primary school when we were learning when to look right, look left, and then look right again. And when it is safe, cross the road. When it comes to relationships, you have to look at it like that with the three lights. You have to be aware of where the indigo comes in. You have to be aware where the red light comes on and where the green light comes on. So every time you think about the red flags in the relationship, you close your eyes and you imagine that you're standing somewhere and you're waiting for the flags, for the traffic lights to indicate whether you should proceed or not proceed. And you can use the indigo to either prepare yourself to take off from the relationship or to fully commit to the relationship. So when we use the red flags, that means danger, that means you stop, that means you think about a few decisions that you as a person are about to make. So the red flag is very significant. The red color is very significant. It means danger, it means stop, but in some cases it means love. So those are the things that we are looking at tonight in our relationship segment. So now that we have defined what are these red flags and we have
Mm,
identified what they imply and what they mean in the relationship by using the normal traffic light
yeah.
setting, what do we do? How do you figure out, how do you know whether you need to run away? How do you know whether you need to continue the relationship? How do you identify these red flags? Number one, Ellie, the
Yeah.
number one thing that someone needs to use is intuition, something that is called intuition or your senses. If you're
Hmm.
feeling that something is wrong in a relationship, it's too early for the person to be saying they love you and you mean the world to them, or it's too early for the person to be so attached to you and so clingy to you, and all the time they're calling you, they're WhatsApping you, they are finding out where you are, they are jealous over your friends, they are trying to pick out your friends and saying, I don't like this friend, I don't like that friend. If you're concerned about, if your intuition is telling you something is wrong, something is definitely wrong. So stop for a minute and identify what wrong thing and put put a click on it, figure out what is it about this person that is really bugging you. Just take a step back from the relationship, from the person, and try to figure out what's happening so that you can identify the red flag. And normally when we identify the red flag early, our instinct is to go to the person and to tell them, why you look a bit controlling. So of course, if you tell somebody you look a bit controlling, what do you expect them to do? You expect them to say, yes, I'm controlling and I intend to
Mm-hmm.
control you for the rest of your life. No, 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 no. They will reassure you. They will, and they'll unwind and step back from that controlling habit that is alarming you, and then they'll keep you comfortable for a while. And then when you get so deep into it, then they go back to their true nature. So always trust the first person that person introduces you to. Always trust the behavior of somebody. If they
Yep.
do something, do not excuses with the excuses that they have given you. Don't use alcohol as an excuse. Ellie, you and I, sometime this year, I think
Yep.
early this year, we had a situation where we had a couple that had gone off on both of us because somebody was using alcohol as an excuse to stab the other person. And the other person was saying, hey, this is not something that I want in my life. I want out. And by the way, out of that red flag of this person was taking a knife and chasing that person and telling
Yep.
them, I will stab you. This person was adamant, I'm coming out of this relationship. And by the time the person was managing to come out of the relationship, he was like, oh, Fuchs, I dodged a bullet. Because the reaction, my friend, of trying to walk out of this relationship was crazy. So if your instinct is telling you that something is up, something is definitely up. Trust your intuition, trust yourself, trust the way you're feeling, trust the way you're experiencing this person,
Mm.
trust the way you're interacting with this person. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. If the love is too much,
Mm-hmm.
if it's too much, you know this too much is in the morning, it's lunchtime, in the mpaka wewe mwenyewe unajiuliza huyu mtu anatoa wapi time ya kunipenda hivi vyote. You know, you're sitting and you're thinking, I must be lovable. Yani huyu mtu hey. If you have that thought at the back of your mind, he's love bombing you. That's the word we use for such kind of a situation, and it's a red flag. When somebody is love
But
bombing you, giving you too much love, Ellie, is a problem.
in Nyokabe,
Yes,
I'm a bit concerned when you say that it is not okay to be overloved, if I would use
yes.
that word. What do you make of words like "ninakupenda sana, I couldn't sleep last night"? Is that also a red flag, or are they
Well,
just aiming at what you are carrying and what your mama distributed to you?
well, when I talk about somebody saying that they love you so much they could not sleep at night,
Mm.
we are looking out for the consistency of particular behaviors.
Yes.
So one of the major things that you should be concerned about is the behavior or the character of the individual, how they behave around you. So there is I love you and I care about you that's within the normal range. There is I
Mm.
love you that you mean the world to me and I don't want to lose you within the normal range. And there is I love you that I will stab you if you dare to leave me. That's not a normal range. Or there
Okay.
is I love you, so therefore you shouldn't hang out with your friends, you should hang out with me. That's not within the normal range. There is I love you that I should have access to your phone, I should have access to your computer, I should know what you're doing all the time. You should send me a pin of where you are and who you're with. You know, that's
Mm.
another I love you that is a bit too much. There is I love you, I slapped you because I love you and you mean the world to me. My friend, that's another love that is a bit. So these are the red flags we're talking about on the extreme bit. And some things, and the reason why we are using these examples early is because
Mm-hmm.
people expect the red flags to be almost physical. You can almost touch them, like the
Mm.
issue of somebody is trying to be violent with you.
Yep.
That one you can easily identify it and you can easily see. But rarely, if you listen to people who have gone through physical abuse and emotional abuse, which work together hand in hand, is like credit and SIM card, as wachanangi sana. They work together. Physical abuse and emotional
Unless
abuse.
umefuliza.
This Yes, they'll never tell you at he started on the first date and he slapped me. It started simple. It started with simple comments, Ellie, such as, "Oh, I don't like the way your waist look like. Oh, where were you? Why didn't you come at this time? What were you doing?" They start suspecting all of a suddenly. I don't like the way you converse with this person, and they become very aggressive and very adamant that you must be having a relationship with this person. How do they know that you must be having a relationship with this person? So we are talking about the red flags that aren't obvious, especially if you're in love with somebody, especially if you're attached to this person. You just feel like they are being concerned with you, but this concern is a little bit too much. It's going overboard. It's making you rethink some of your decision. It's making you go like, okay, let me take a step back and think about this particular situation. So these are the things we are mentioning, because the normal red flags are there. People choose to ignore those normal red flags. There's somebody who gets slapped on the date, wameenda out, they are dancing, mtu amekuja huko ako mlevi, amekujoin kwa dance floor, or you're dancing kidogo, violence imetoka eli, unaanza
Yeah, you
kusema
know,
ati yes, go
Nyokabi,
ahead.
sorry that I cut you short, but it's interesting because there's some time back, I think most of you might have come across that clip on social
Yes.
media whereby there was this gentleman that was getting married in the marriage ceremony. And then there was, I suppose, the best man that was coming to hug. And the gentleman was lashing out slaps on this gentleman, the other, because I believe he felt insecure and he
And
was trying
threatened.
to mark his territory. That is more on the physical aspect of it. But before
Yes.
we even dive further into the discussion, let's just engage a little bit the audience. And if you're sending in your comments, remember the hashtag is Art in Heart, and responding to live as they were running on the ticker right under the screen. Make sure to engage us with those hashtags. In the comment section, we have, I'll start all the way down, like you always say, Ellie likes it that way. My
Yes.
honest perception is not all red flags are to be given in-depth mediation. Sometimes the one you face later is worse. The initial one simple because of over consideration of red flags. So you're always looking out for red flags. I believe that's what Matthew is trying to point out. And then earlier on, Wema Praise Lukandu said that is obsession. I believe when we were talking about somebody consistently asking uko wapi, send me the pin of the place you are, who are you talking to, and what are the reasons you are having that discussion. Lomasai, on the other hand, says trust your intuition, because if you feel something is wrong, definitely there's something cooking. Wycliffe on the other side, today I'll be listening here of the red flags. Yes, stay tuned because you need to listen to this, gentlemen. And okay, I see you say you are using one and the same account, so keep it locked, Wycliffe. On the other hand, we have who else is here? Kevo Agig on point. Nancy is saying good evening to all the rest. Fifi Pats, welcome to the show. Sorry, that is Kiprono Roda. Kipro Roda, Nancy Magan, Malay Brio. Hesbon says, red flags, run. Don't wait. Don't wait for it. Just run. Just run. Janet, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Obira Owaji, noted and thanks. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. So, Nyokabi, those are just but a few, but let's continue getting this thing on. My question to the audience is, what are the common red flags to look out for? What has been your experience? If you have had such, kindly post them in the comment section. Remember the hashtag is Art in Heart responding to live. Tuned in, Dr. Mapenzi. Fema Wairimu,
That is
karibu sana.
Wairimo, karibu sana. That is one of my fans that we have a group in. Karibu sana. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate them for coming in. Welcome, welcome, Linda. Welcome. I can see now my family is beginning to follow me. I appreciate. Welcome, welcome, and leave your comments. Let me know where you're listening from. Which particular group are you listening? When she says Dr. Mapenzi, I know which group she's coming
Okay,
from.
awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Mapenzi.
yes.
So, Nyokabi,
Mhm.
I think we've had, and for why I mentioned the show we had last night, it's because we were talking about foolishly in love. And once you are in love or perceived to be in love, there's some things you ignore so much.
Yes.
Let's start with the emotional bit, and
Okay.
which involves connection.
Okay.
How do we connect with the reality and the flags that are being raised in a relationship? Emotional.
So the first of all, let's talk about what is emotion. Because people don't know what emotion is. It's like trying to define what love is. It's quite challenging. An emotion is a feeling. It's something you're feeling within yourself. It's a feeling of either happiness, sadness, a likeness towards somebody, or a connection to somebody. It can be physical, it can be mental, it can be intellectual. different levels of connections, by the way, when it comes to emotions. They can be intellectual connection. There's somebody who you can intellectually have a conversation with, and this is rare, and this can be a ground upon which relationships are founded. There's the emotional connection. This is somebody who you connect with at an emotional level. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling high, when you're feeling happy, you're able to interact with this person. So when it comes to the emotion, that is what we are looking at. What are the red flags when it comes to emotion? Number one is the absentia. This person is absent emotionally. You're in a relationship with this person, but they will not be present with you emotionally. So how do you identify that kind of a red flag? Is if you're going through a difficult time and you share with this person and they're not able to empathize with you, they're not able to come down to your level and have a conversation with you that touches your emotional beat. You always feel emotionally neglected. You don't feel connected to them, right? So when it comes to emotions, we are looking for empathy, we are looking for kindness, we are looking for courtesy, we are looking for things that that provoke certain hormones that bring about happiness and comfort and consolation. So if this person is not able to be present with you emotionally, then that's a red flag, because they will not able to be able the consistency that you need, the emotional support you need from a romantic partner will not be present. And if you're somebody who is of a particular personality type or a personality trait like melancholics and phlegmatics, these are people who value emotional connection, because they are generally very emotional people. They are generally people who are very detailed in their relationships, and they mean it when they're in relationships. So they want an emotional connection with you. So if you feel that this person you can't connect, ati unalia na anakwambia, oh, what's the big deal?
That's a big
Why
deal.
you crying? Yes, why can't you just process like a normal person?
Be an
Really?
adult.
Do you have to? Yes, do you really have to cry? Is it necessary that you go all that way? And no, those comments are very simple, and you will hear them saying, I don't like a particular person because anakwanga too emotional. Every time the emotions. When you're trying to communicate to your partner about something that they have done that is offensive to you, instead of them validating that concern that you're sharing with them, they dismiss you and tell you you're always emotional. And this is, women are the ones who play victim to this so much to men. Every time you tell him, oh, I felt upset because you did not come on time. Why do you always make everything emotional? Why can't you just be logical? I explained to you there was traffic. Isn't that enough? You see, you need to connect with this person emotionally. What they need to identify is how their actions made you feel, regardless of the logic behind it. And they need to validate that feeling that they made you feel like that and apologize and explain why they delayed to do what they did. There are people who you'll share with them and you'll tell them, I'm concerned that every time I will need to do something from my side, you turn it around and make it your side. And then they look at you and they tell you, uh, what are you talking about? They'll always not validate your feelings about things. That's a red flag. That is a person who will never care about your feelings. That is a person who will never stop and think, okay, I have hurt you. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. So these are some of the red flags that we ignore in relationships. There are even people who you will date early. I have dated somebody
Mhm.
who told me, I don't do emotional stuff. And stupid Nyokabi went ahead to date this person. So if you don't do
Okay.
emotional stuff, what business do we have dating?
So
Because
what was
dating is
the just to be clear, because I don't understand. Give me an example of what is emotional stuff that some people will never really sign up for.
like, for example, he'll tell you, I'll not be calling you all the time, I'll not be texting you all the time, or I'll not take you out all the time, I will meet you when I have the time. When you ask them, okay, you hurt my feelings, they tell you, I don't do emotional stuff, I don't have time to know, I can't deal with hurting your feelings. If you can't deal with hurting my feelings, then why are we in a romantic relationship? Because a relationship involves feelings, it involves connection at all level, not just intellectual. Because this person will tell me, oh, I can have a conversation with you and not get bored. We can talk about anything from one level to the other. So that's what they're attracted to, and that's what they care about. So when it comes to things, oh, I'm feeling like this, then they start telling you, but I told you, there's a point a relationship gets and you want to tell this person they love you. You want to tell them I love you, and you want them to say I love you back. And then they tell you, so you told
Ah,
me I'm not emotional.
wait,
That's
wait,
actually,
wait. Nyokabi, I would like you to really address that part you've just mentioned now,
you're the one
where
who
you
said
tell
you started
you
emotion.
tell an individual, "I love you," and they
They
say,
say thank you.
"Okay," or "Thank you."
They say thank you.
what is the
God bless
standard
you.
answer to I love you? Or what, as a relationship coach, make me understand. What are the what are the so pragmatic sort of answers to the words that are very simple? I love you.
An ideal response would be, I love you too. An
What
ideal
if
response would be, is like Ellie, if I greet you and say good evening, Ellie, what would be the ideal response to that situation? What would you say?
good evening
Would
to
you
you, Nyokabi, and
Yes,
how are
why would
you?
you say yes? Why would you say thank you? Why would you say at oh, okay? Why would you respond like that? These are some of the things that you need to respond appropriately because they have been defined. They are well defined. It's like
Mm,
saying good morning. If somebody says I love you, the appropriate response would be I love you too. And if you don't love this person, this would be an opportunity to let them know that hey, the feeling is not mutual. We are not in the same level, so that they can also back off and stop yearning for something that you're not willing to give. By the fact that you're keeping quiet and
yeah.
muting on the same, it means you people are not on the same wavelength, and you're not being honest with yourself, and you're not being honest with your partner. So if your partner says I love you, then the response should be I love you too. If it's not the case, then you should be aware, and that is a beautiful red flag right there, Ellie. If you tell somebody I love you and they say thank you or God bless you or oh, okay, they don't know what to do with it, then the feeling is not mutual. It's like greeting
Okay.
you and you're not in the mood. You're just not in the mood of greeting me back.
I'll never do that to you, Nyokabi. I always love your greetings, right?
Oh,
I still want to discuss that point because that is the
yes.
most important part of our relationship that a lot of
Mm,
us will never pay attention to, and then we are left wondering what happened. But before I do
yes.
that, let me engage more the audience who are here. Linda
Yes.
Mangula Kinoti, thank you so much for following us on the live show. Paul Mwai, equally karibu sana. Again, I'm sorry, but I'll only have to point out the comments that are being sent in to discuss the topic. Art in
Yes.
heart, to avoid those issues of red flags, just learn to be comfortable being alone. Rational, not emotional, and meet your own needs. You'll forget about all this. Being insecure is what brings about those feelings. About the red
Hmm.
flags.
Food for thought.
Interesting, interesting.
Food for
Thank
thought.
you, thank you. We will. I will ask Nyokabe to later on respond to that. Makomeri, on the other hand, thank you so much for tuning in. Sir, he says some people are just out to manipulate others emotionally. They make life about them and not space for meeting at the center of the two of you. You do not create space where you can meet in the middle. Interesting, interesting one. Kipro Roda, thank you so much. She says, what if you say I love you and the other person says take care, bye? Is that a red flag? Nancy Magan says, how come we don't always see the red flags in our relationship, but others do? Because your friends will be telling you that guy you're going out with is bad news, but you say, hey, leave my John alone. But probably because you're blinded with love, or possibly foolishly in love. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. We will see about that as we continue the conversation. Have you seen a
Mhm.
man give back? It's impossible to see what is wrong with your own life. That is in response to Nancy. Tune in, Dr. Mapen. That is Phoebe Maina. Thank you so much for the support you're giving the lady on the bench. Thank you so much. And guys, continue, continue. Let's have an engagement of the red flags. Nyokabi, I
Mhm.
was still on the word I love you. And I know over time it has been diluted. It has no meaning because people
Yes.
say it just as how will I put it? Because it's
Just
convenient. They use
yes,
it
and to
because
get
it's
something out of
convenient.
you. Yes.
But if you're really in an exclusive relationship that I've been talking about over time as we do our shows, and in a partner sort of relationship, don't you find it a little bit a point of concern when you say I love you, and then the people will say, okay, or if you ask them why would you say that, they tell you it's because I cannot say I love you if I'm mad at you. So how does love stop just because you disapprove of what happened in the house? Probably your husband forgot to pay the electricity bill and you're now mad. Does that the time this love stops?
First of all, love isn't taken away by failure too. achieve something, but there is consequences of failure too. What happens is, Ellie, allow me to explain this, and I think it's going to come out of a bit, but let me try to explain it. If you don't understand the 3 lights on a traffic stop, you don't know how to respond. For example, if you have not gone to school and you're to a driving school and you have not been taught about the lights, when you go to that point, if you don't know what red means, if you don't know what green means, or if you don't know what indigo means, then you don't know how to respond appropriately. This is the case in relationships. If you're not aware what is the appropriate reaction at a particular time, then you're likely to give off the wrong reaction. If you're somebody who is not self-aware and you're not emotionally mature, and if you're somebody who is manipulative to your partner, you're aware of what you're doing, but you're trying to be manipulative to your partner, you're trying to hurt your partner, then you will respond negatively. When red means stop, you will go ahead and drive. And what normally happens if you don't respond to the lights appropriately the way they're supposed to be responded to, you will end up in a collision, you will end up causing an accident, and you will end up affecting all other people. So when it comes to these words, I love you, and the person has said they love you, they're trying to diffuse the situation. They are trying to bring the relationship back to where it was. They are trying to salvage the situation. Then the appropriate response would be, I love you too. But in this particular situation, what we need to focus on is not that I love you. It is that you did 1, 2, 3 things that I'm unhappy about. And we need to discuss it so that we can resolve it and move forward. The fact that you're dealing with an issue, it doesn't mean that the love has walked away from the relationship. And then again, this comes from a level of maturity and a level of understanding the lights. What does this light mean? And then it comes also to a point of where you have the ability to articulate why you're angry and why you're upset. But being that you're upset with somebody should not mean that you don't love them, or I can't say that I love you, or you use love like a dangling carrot that you want to manipulate your partner to force them to do what they want to do so that you can respond to I love you properly. You're abusing the lights and you're responding to them negatively, and in the wrong run you will lose in the relationship. You might think you have won and you have gained the upper hand, but in the process you will lose in the relationship, because then this person will stop trusting you and they'll stop believing that you do love them. These are the people who sit and say, she loves me because I have money. She loves me because I meet her needs. He loves me because I take off my clothes or I do this for them. So they start associating and affiliating love with other things or benefits that they get out of it. Love should be it should be given. It's sacrificial. That is true love. True love is sacrificial. It's not attached to other things, right? It's demonstrated by being sacrificial. Now, allow me to illustrate how you demonstrate love, because people don't understand how you demonstrate love. People associate love with things. They say, I love you because you're beautiful. So what happens if acid lands on my face by accident? I love you because you have a beautiful hip. What happens if I get to an accident and the hip is dislocated and it's no longer there? What happens if I develop a chronic disease and I become a terminal patient? Will you still love me then? Because you see, if you attach love to these things, what happens when that thing is removed from the picture? Will you still love me? So, and that's why you hear musicians say, would you love me when it falls? Would you love me if I still have all my teeth, if I can still smile the same way I smile today? Would you still love me? Would you still care about me then? So love is demonstrating the sacrificial bit of it, coming out of your comfort zone to make the other person feel embraced and loved, making the other person feel connected to you, going out of your way. Like, what now, when I want to talk about love, I want to use the Christian aspect to demonstrate what love is, what Christ did for us, but most people are not Christians. So we need to use practical things that we can use today. Love is you deciding, because it is raining and it's inconvenient for you to come and pick me. You're coming from Westlands and we live in Westlands, and you come all the way to Kiamburu to pick me because it is raining. It would have been easier for you to just drive home because you are a few minutes away. But you sacrifice and you say, you know what, let me pick this person and ensure they get home. That is what love is. Love is a sacrifice. It's not a feeling. It's a choice every day to love this person and to appreciate as they grow into the person they are growing into. So if you attach love to something, so what happens if that something is removed? And this is what happens. We see it in romantic relationships. We see it in marriages. You married a beautiful, slender woman who looked like a Coca-Cola bottle. You know, the waistline, you could almost put your fingers like this. And now she has 3 children. And you still want her to maintain the same waistline. And you start walking away and start having extramarital affairs. Na akikuuliza, why are you having extramarital affairs? At me, I didn't marry you with a round waist. I married you with a hour clock waist? Is it the hour clock waist that you married, or is it the person? Love is embracing the personality, is understanding this person is playful, is joyful, is vibrant, is somebody who is moody and cranky, and you still want to be around them. Love is knowing that this person has your back. They can walk a mile with you. They can walk a mile with blisters with you. That is what love is. Do not attach love to a particular thing, because when somebody attaches love, and that is a red flag in a relationship. If somebody tells you, I love you because you always pay attention to me, I love you because you always do this for me, I love you because what happens when the because works out? What about that day I wake up in the morning and I don't want to deal with you? I don't feel like being present in that relationship. What's going to happen? Are you going to pick me up? Are you going to play your part to ensure the relationship stays healthy and it keeps moving? So these are the flags that we are talking about, Ellie. Where are you hiding, my friend?
Ellie is busy listening to this and going through the comments because they are really, really interesting comments happening here. Let's go back to the comment section, and we'll be taking a break after this, Nyokabi, after you respond to some of the issues being raised, because you've avoided some of them. I don't want you to be sacrificed. Kipro says love is being misused nowadays, and that's true. Salam, on the other hand, says if someone tells me I love you, I tell them that, okay, am I normal or am I just toxic? Atin Hart, go ahead.
Go back to the question that they say is, oh, am I normal or am I not normal? Now, I want to respond to this because it's important that we do. The question that maybe you need to ask yourself, my friend, is, Salama, why are you afraid to be vulnerable with this person? Is it because the feeling is not mutual? Then you need to be honest with this person and let them know that the feeling is not mutual. And the fact that you're asking that, are you normal or are you just toxic, then it means there's something. You see, love, your background and your past plays a very key role in how you are in relationships. They play a very key role. So the past that you have had, the experience that you have had in the past, what role is it playing in this particular relationship? What are you not trusting yourself with, and what are you not trusting your partner with? If you're not able to say I love you, then it means the feeling is not there. If it's the issue of being vulnerable, then you need to address why you feel I cannot be vulnerable with this person and say I love you back. Because how would you feel if you told somebody I love you and they said, oh, okay, is that an experience that you would like to experience? How would you feel if you poured your heart out to somebody and you became vulnerable and you let them know how you feel about them, and their response was, well, good luck with that feeling, right? So you need to ask yourself, where is this coming from? What is triggering? What is making you feel like, did you love somebody in the past and they betrayed that love for you? Did you grow up in an environment where our love was a foreign language? Because the people who grow up and they don't know what love is, they know quarrel, they know harassment, they know all negative things, but they don't know what love is. So you need to understand where that you're coming from so that you can heal that wound and move forward. So it's not necessarily that you're toxic. It could be that the feeling is not mutual. It could be that you don't know how to respond to love. It could be that you really don't know what love is to yourself and to the other person. So you're just in a state of, okay, so what's going on? So you need to figure out what's happening. But in the process of figuring out, the key thing here is to be honest with yourself and honest with your partner. It's only fair that you become honest. Ellie, continue, highlight another one. So we have Wycliffe, who is saying, she blocked me recently on FB. She doesn't want to see what I post and comment on groups. Could that be a red flag? Well, that is a very red flag. Wycliffe, when somebody blocks you, that is an absolutely red flag. She even gone an extra mile of doing the same on WhatsApp. This is somebody who is trying to disconnect communication. And the best thing that you can do when you're hurting, when you love somebody and you're trying to reach out to them and you're trying to resolve a conflict, when they block you out and refuse to participate in the conversation, the best thing to do as a person is to just step back and allow them the space they're asking for, so that they get time to deal with that emotion. It could be it could be an immature way of dealing with whatever you did that upset them and they felt, I need a break from all this. It could be a manipulative way, but if you both step back, then you can be able to figure out for yourself where you stand and where the person stands. But yes, it is a very, very red flag. We have Katia who is saying I love you too easily. Like they say hello, it becomes as an habit that I
They
they
don't
don't.
really mean. They don't really mean
Okay.
it anymore. Would you say
Yes.
I love you twice a day, every day?
Well, there are people. Well, Ellie, it depends on the personality. It depends on the
Mhm.
personality traits. And these are some of the things. I think, Ellie, we need to pick a particular day and talk about different personalities. I would love to do that with our audience here today so that you understand their personality differences. There are people who will say, I love you, and they really mean it. That one time they will say it, I love you, and they mean it. And then they'll keep quiet and send you a note. If anything changes, I will let you know. 10, 40 years later, they have never said, I love you again. There are people who will say it a million and one times because it's their way of expressing their love for you. You know, they keep saying,
Mhm.
"Oh, when you call them and you finish the conversation, they say I love you." When you're doing something and they say I love you. These are people who express their emotions. These are people who are in tune with emotions. There are people who use this I love you also to manipulate you, to control you, to put you in a particular space. So it becomes a red flag if the I love you is attached to other things, Ellie. If the I love you
Yeah.
comes as a result of, if I love you comes, you look out for those things that the I love you isn't genuine. And you can always tell I love you that isn't genuine. It's like an apology. If someone tells you pole basi yaishe, nimekubali yaishe, it's not a genuine apology, Ellie. So if somebody tells you I love you and you're thinking, I love you, then it's not genuine. And if
Okay,
it's not
that could be a
genuine,
red flag.
then
That could be a red flag. And
it could be a
yeah,
very red flag.
we will discuss. Guys, don't worry. We will sample most of your messages. So continue doing that with Heart in Heart. Allow Nyokabi to take her water because she's really having a long one there. And we'll be right back for music. So we are hanging out tonight with one Yokabi, GK Kamau, and we are trying to figure out the red flags that you have to look out for in the event you are in a relationship that seems not to be adding up with the things that have been happening. So we're going to shift gears a little bit more and get into these other common things that we never pay attention to. So Nyokabi, karibu sana again to the show as we tackle the most common one. Last week tuliambiana simu ya wenyewe vitunguu, and we have all our reasons for that. But at the same time, we cannot assume this small gadget that seems to be carrying around a lot of information. What happens, or is it a red flag when you see your partner has suddenly fallen in love with their phone and they are always laughing when they look at their phone, and when they turn to your face, they have this gloomy face? Is it a point of concern, Yokabi?
I like the way you're putting it, and you're so serious. You even have a posture of what
Mm-hmm.
happens if somebody falls, like all of a sudden they just fall in love
Their
and
phone.
come on. Well, it is a red flag.
Last,
Phones
you know,
are
the
red flag.
problem is, I know I'm cutting you, but the problem is, Nyokabi, these phones, there's this thing called WhatsApp status and all that. These people will be updating their status. You'll have seen them last seen 2 minutes ago, but your message, you sent it in the morning. You followed another one in the mid morning, another in the afternoon, and all you see is they are grey ticking you, and then they will read it 2 a.m. in the morning.
Ellie, first of all, allow me to address one thing at a time. And I will start with that one that you have seen somebody was last
Nimechemuka.
seen. Calm down.
Thank you.
Some water, my brother. Some water. Some water.
The
Now,
virtual.
let me address this issue of phones, and I'll do it very systematically. You know, I like to do my things very systematically. Number
Mhm.
one, we discussed the issue of phones last time, and I said if you feel the need to go through your partner's phones, then there's an issue of trust, because a phone is a very private gadget that needs to be respected, and going through their phone isn't going to resolve whatever insecurity that you're feeling as an individual. So Ellie, if you're the kind of person who, at if you send me a WhatsApp message, you check whether I have blue ticked you, you check my last seen on my status, already there's a problem in that relationship. There's the red flag of insecurity, because I do not have to respond to your message when you send it. You need to be comfortable enough in the relationship to know that I don't have to respond to it when you send it. That is a red flag for a toxic relationship in itself. That's the first thing. I know you're not
Wait,
happy about
wait,
it,
wait,
and
wait.
people are not happy. So you
Nyokabi,
shouldn't
you
go off on
forgot
your
my
partner.
point
Oh,
on
I
my
think, oh,
question.
wait,
Nyokabi,
Ellie, calm
Nyokabi.
down, calm
Nimekutumia
water,
message asubuhi mpaka jioni,
calm
na
water.
mimi na wewe we are in a relationship.
But let me ask you, Ellie, why do you want me to respond immediately when you send the message?
I didn't say immediately. Nyokabi, again, I've sent you my message. Good morning, honey. I'm wishing you a very good day ahead. I hope to talk to you in the course of the day. Kisses, love you, bye. Great. Sat Sita. Hi, baby. I hope you're doing well. It's been tough morning for me, but I'm just checking in to make sure you're doing well. Let me know when you read this and take care. Kisses. Great.
What is it with you? What is it with you and kisses?
Those are
Anyway, move.
texts. The last one, because it's becoming difficult at 4 p.m. Hey, darling, I hope your day went well. Office is not holding well, but things gonna be okay soon because the corona things, business is holding down. How about yourself? Tell me, is everything okay on your end? Because you've been silent throughout the day. I'm a bit worried about you. Um, then you go back last seen 10 minutes ago. Update photo akiwa tu kwa nyumba, hey, chilling with my cat. What are you telling me? That I should be comfortable enough just to say you will answer?
That is a red flag. But I want to talk. There are two red flags here, Ellie. The red flag of the fact that you keep pestering the person, and the red flag that the person is not responding. Those are two red flags. You see, if somebody keeps, you see, let me say, there's a system of how a relationship works and the way you click with somebody. And there's something that one person brings out of you that another person does not bring out of you. There are people who are excellent communicators. There are people who are not communicators. So if you're looking for the red flag, again, we come back to the point where, Ellie, you need to understand your partner and the relationship that you're in so that you can trust your intuition. If your intuition at that moment is telling you this person is up to something and you're not doing the right thing, then you should be concerned and it should be a red flag for you. But if they're the kind of person who generally is a poor communicator, like now, for example, people assume because I'm a person who is always on social media, then I'm always on my phone. There's somebody who will send me a message and maybe I'm traveling from one point to the other. I saw the message, yes, but in my mind, I wasn't able to respond. There's somebody
Like you
who will,
always do with me. Continue.
yes, there's somebody who will send me a message right now. They can see I'm actively online, but I'm not responding. You see, the scenarios are different, so you need to be aware. You need to, that's why I'm saying it's a red flag. It's a double red flag from both sides. Communicate and agree. How do we communicate? Like now there are people who sit in offices and they're using their laptops. This is somebody who is able to keep sending you WhatsApp messages, sending you Facebook messages, sending you this and that, because they are seated next to their gadgets and they're actually doing it. There is somebody who is in the field like me. Sasa ninasumbuana na technician huko, or I'm standing on a podium, I am training, and then you expect me to respond to these messages. That's why I'm saying it's a red flag
Yani
on both
wewe
sides.
you are busy na technician
Let's resolve
unapanda
this
miti.
Wacha to resolve this bit, because let's look at them from both sides of the coin. Why is it a red flag for you? And why should you be concerned about it? Because when you raise it with your partner, what do they say? How do they make you feel about it? When they make you feel like you're the one who is on the wrong, or you're the person who is doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, is it consistent? Is it something that happens consistently? You need to be concerned about. If you raise it to the person, they give you a reasonable explanation. Like I told you earlier, I'm not always on my phone. My phone is online throughout because it is a smartphone. So it is saying I'm online, but I am not. I'm doing
Like they
other
always
things.
do with me. I can see you're online until 1 a.m. Yes, I'm preparing for the next show. Anyway, continue.
Or you're live on the show, so your phone is online. So these are some of the things that you need, and that's why I said it's a double red flag. Because if you're sitting there and thinking at oh, you blue ticked me at 11, it's now what? Oh, and I used to get those comments, by the way, when I was dating. Somebody would tell me at why do you blue tick me, my friend? My life does not revolve around you, and it's not in a negative way. You are my partner, we're in a relationship, and yes, I will respond when the time comes. So these are some of the things that we need to be, because these are the red flags of potential Toxicity. Wacha kuniangalia hivyo Eli. Potential toxicity. You told
I'm
me to answer
listening because I have a very serious. Continue.
you told me to answer as a relationship coach, and that is what I am doing. You
Yes,
see,
but I feel shortchanged with your answer. It's all right.
you wanted me to say it is a red flag that your partner is not responding. And I have
No.
said lack of communication, lack of consistency in that communication, the unavailability of your partner. That is one way of your partner not being available to converse with you, intellectual conversation. Those are red flags. But at the same time, why are you timing me? Why are you sitting there idle thinking at oh, your coffee should have responded to my message by now? That is also a red flag because you need to give me room. A healthy relationship has boundaries. A healthy relationship has room and space, which people don't understand. People who are
Fine.
in romantic relationships,
Fine.
Ellie.
Let me agree with that for a second.
Thank you.
As long as you
Yes.
can answer this, how much time do you need if you're my wife or, or my exclusive partner to respond to me? Because your number one job is to be in a relationship with me and others. But if I'll see you laughing with others, and once we are always together, you are consistently on your phone, but you never see my messages. Don't you think, as a man or a woman, I should be concerned about that?
You should be concerned about that. But at the same time, Ellie, it's a double red flag. You have said my number one priority when I'm in a relationship with you is to be in a relationship with you, which is false. And you're setting yourself up for failure. My number one responsibility is to be in a healthy relationship with myself so that I can be in a healthy relationship with you. I cannot give you what I do not have. So I need to have that love for myself first so that I can give it to you. Okay, so the
Mhm.
relationship needs to be at a level where it's taking a balance. My time with you, my time with myself, my time with my friends, there needs to be a balance. There need to be an issue of the line. Where do we not cross the line? Where do we give each other room? Because spending a whole day early without talking to each other does not mean that we don't love each other or we are not in a relationship.
But
You
in
know?
Jokabi,
Yes,
I
early,
am I am a
early.
big fan of your teachings. On this
Yes.
one of you telling me I should spend a whole day without baby sending me a message or telling me babes. I've been held up the whole morning. I'm sending you this lovely message to tell you that I love you. I'll talk to you when we have time. You want to tell me I should be comfortable with silence the whole day?
Are you a communicate? No, you should not be comfortable with silence the whole day. Ellie, you're taking my conversation out of code. Can you?
I
Wait.
want you to contextualize it in a way that I can understand.
What I am saying is this.
Mm.
Okay. You gave me, let me ensure that we are communicating because we always teach about communication. Ellie, you are asking me that should you be concerned if you text your partner 3, 4 times during the day and they don't respond and you can see that they are
Mm.
active on their phones, right?
Mhm.
And when you're together with them, to back up your scenario, you're saying when you're together with your partner, you always see that they're active on their phone, but they seem not to see your messages. Have I understood what you're asking, Eddie? First
That
of all,
is
we start.
correct.
Thank you. And I have given you the scenario and I have told you this is a double flag, Ellie. It is a double flag on your end as the partner who expects your partner to respond to your messages when you send them. And it is a red flag on your partner, the one who is not responding to your messages because there's a reason why they're not responding. Now, to resolve that conflict, to decide whether it is a red flag or it's not a red flag, an
Mm.
ideal situation would be you sit down with your partner, not in an accusative state, not to accuse them, where I always see you on your phone, but you don't respond to my messages, but to ask them, why is it that I can text you the whole day and to be particular on this particular day and you did not respond? The other question that you ask yourself as the partner so that you can be able to identify, is this a red flag or not? Remember what I said about the 3 lights. You need to know how to respond appropriately. Because if you don't respond appropriately, then you end up in a situation that wasn't necessary. The other thing that you want to ask yourself, Ellie, is this behavior consistent? Is it something that they do? And what triggers this behavior? Are there times that they are vibrant and they respond to your messages? Are there times that they are moody and they decide just to ignore you? Are there times you see the relationship dynamics are different. So these are the things that you need to ask yourself, because early we can destroy a relationship in this show. Somebody will sit there and say, who you are responding messages zangu, it is a red flag. Nyokabi has said I should walk out of this relationship. And a person walks out of a good relationship. They con themselves out of a good relationship because they overreacted. Right? So that's why we are saying observe and be aware. Observe and look at the situation. Have a conversation with your partner. If your intuition is telling you something is wrong, then something is wrong. Are you in the middle of a conflict, in a dispute, and a disagreement early? These are things that you need to factor in. Read the lights nicely. If it is time to go, go. If it is time to stop and wait, stop and wait. If it is time to completely stop, completely stop. I know you're not happy,
I
but
am very
Tarkena,
happy. I'm very
are you?
happy, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm amazed at the conversation happening in the comment section. And thank you so much, Janet Irungu, Anlu Masai, Kipro Roda, Favor Wairimu Gisheha. I hope I'm getting the
Mhm.
names correctly. Isharia Munga, Stephen Witty, Nyokabi.
Yes.
Because I know you
Mhm.
and I sometimes have points that we don't agree on. Let's
Yes.
find common grounds we can agree on, right? That's how our
Yes.
relationship is going to work tonight.
Yes.
Can we agree that it is very uncouth as a partner in a relationship to ignore your partner without reasonable cause for the same the whole day?
Yes, we agree. It is a red flag. Next.
Can we also agree it is unbecoming if you consistently with your phone mpaka kwa choo, and you're equally laughing when you see your phone flash some lights, and then you become uncomfortable when it flashes, especially if your partner is around? Is
I
that a red
agree.
flag?
It is a red flag.
Nyokabi Jike Kamau, relationship coach. Can we agree
I feel like
that
I'm in a court of law. I'm under oath of some kind.
I'm just representing the common Mwananchis? The callers Wanjiku, why not Washiari? I don't know. But can we also
Continue.
agree that
Mhm.
it is equally not normal
Yes.
as partners in a relationship
Yes.
not to be conscious of your partner's financial ability, such that when they spend, you don't care, and when they are not able to spend, you equally make trouble? Is this a red flag
Wait.
that a relationship is going to make a problem?
I want to understand what you're saying. You
That's a
want,
very technical question.
why are you being technical? Be simple, my brother. Unaona watu hapa wanaongea vitu simple, vitu tunaweza kuunderstand. Kama Ana hapa anasema, where is this one? I like that. You know, simple issues early. Anne is saying love languages. Your partner likes communication back. Love languages can play a very key role in communication. Ellie, put your question in simple terms in the way we
I'm
can
talking
understand.
about money, besha,
What has
Nyokabi.
Besha done?
Pesa, besha. If you are in a relationship with a partner that does
Yes.
not care
Yes.
if you spend as long as their needs are met,
Which needs
without
are
caring their needs, whatever needs. It could be they want the most expensive shoe in the market, they want the newest phone that has come out, but they don't care if you are able to sustain the bills until the month is done. Is this a point of concern? Because I'm talking about the financial aspect, Nyokabi.
that is a red flag. That is a very big red flag, and you need to be concerned with that. If your partner is a person who does not care about the development of the family, and that's why when we started this show early, I remember I laid a very important foundation. And I talked about levels of connection that you need to connect with your partner. I talked about the intellectual level. Is it somebody who you can have a conversation with? You don't want to spend your life with somebody who you cannot have a conversation with, right? Ellie, you need to have an intellectual. You need somebody who engages you intellectually, because these are some of the things that lead to infidelity. You're with someone who amwezi ongea, mkiongea mnaongea vitu za ujinga tu. Oh, watoto nilikuwa nataka kusema walikunia meza. You know, that's all this person thinks about. You need to have an intellectual connection with somebody. You need to have a spiritual connection with someone. You stand somewhere, you believe in something, you look forward to something, you go to a particular church, you go to a particular mosque, you believe in something. Spiritual connection. You need to connect to this person financially. You understand financial dynamics. Is it somebody who understands that in order for you to buy a 10,000 shoe, you need to have paid rent, to have paid electricity, to have paid water? Because if these things, if you don't connect to this person, then you need to be concerned. Are you willing to spend the rest of your life living above budget? And I love the fact that you have brought this up, because most men are suffering in the hands of women in this scenario. The woman keeps on pushing you. Oh, I want to do my hair, anataka kufanya nywele ya 3,000, anataka kufanya, and you're doing a simple job and you can't afford that kind of a lifestyle. That is a red flag. This person, you will always have problems. And Ellie, I want to give you a practical scenario. I know of someone or a couple that I know of that I work with. When they were first getting married, this lady would always say when they go for shopping, anaenda ananunua crisps, popcorns, amepatiwa pesa ya shopping na ako na watoto, anaenda ananunua crisps, popcorns, sijui juices, sijui what, and she forgets the most important things, such as mafuta ya kupika, sijui pesa ilisha before anunue jik, sijui pesa ilisha before. They buy the essential and the basic things that are needed to run a home. Do you know this couple, they have been together for 15 years and this woman has never changed? So the man resulted to doing the shopping himself. He resulted to going to the market, yeye mwenyewe ananunua chakula analeta kwa nyumba, because when he gives this girl money, yeye ataenda anunue hapo nje in the estate nyanya 2 za 50 bob, kitunguu 3 za 100 na kitu, because this is somebody who is not responsible financially. So these are the red flags we are talking about that are not obvious, that people don't think about. You tell somebody, I'm in the middle of doing 1, 2, 3 things, they don't want to understand. You tell them you don't have money, they tell you you don't love me. What has you loving me got to do with you not having money? Is it somebody who understands simple things like what we were talking about right now, Ellie? If you're the kind of partner who does not understand that, yes, my phone can be online, but I'm not able to respond to your text, that's a red flag. We have to look at it from both angles. We have to look at it from both content, because somebody can say, oh, I text them, they don't respond, but you can also text too much. You can be a nagging partner. You can be a partner who is constantly on my throat. That is a person who is emotionally manipulative, emotionally abusive. So these are the things that we are looking at, Ellie, but we are looking at them in depth. And we want to open the eyes of our viewers and tell them, hey, if this is happening, then you need to be concerned about it. If your partner is not somebody who you can sit together and agree on a budget. And by the way, when I deal with couples, when I'm doing my premarital counseling, the first thing that I make them do is to come up with a wedding budget. And they struggle and they fight and they dispute, because one person anataka afanye harusi avae nguo ya 120,000 for one day, and they can't afford. They have simple jobs, they have little income. Oh, my cousins will give me money. Wametoa wapi pesa ya kukupatia? That kind of a mentality is very concerning. When you're planning the wedding, do you have your own budget? When you're planning your traditional obligations, do you have your own budget? When you come out of the house to go out for a road trip to Eldoret, to Marsabit, to wherever you're going, do you have a budget? Does your partner understand that I have 10,000 na hakuna kufuliza? Tukimaliza hii 10,000, we walk back home. You consider the important things and you put them. If this kind of a partner is the kind of person who you invite them for lunch, anakuja na nyanya yake, sijui anko yake, sijui cousin yake, they're not taking into consideration that you might not have the resources to cater for all her friends in high school. You see, you need to put this into account. It's their birthday and they push you to do a birthday party for them, an extravagant, so that they can show off. You need to be concerned about these partners. Those are red flags, and they will become an issue in the long run in the relationship, and you'll not be able to address them. So, Ellie, have I answered your question about financial red flags? And I think I've covered the whole financial red flag, all of it in one question. I think I have covered all of it.
For sure, you have covered most of them. And because time will never allow us to cover everything, I always invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to continue engaging in the comment section. Continue exchanging with us the ideas of the things you think we would have mentioned that we didn't mention. But all the same, we want to say thank you so much for everybody that has actually been with us when we started this cast tonight, and we were talking about the red flags on those links. That is Lekuyani Eli on Facebook, on YouTube. That is the Arts in Heart Official. And you equally managed to follow the link live on Tina Kagia's page. And that is also on Coach Nyokabi GK Kamau Facebook handle. If you did that, thank you so much. You did a great job. So, Nyokabi,
Yes.
what is the most important golden rule you want to give for those that are watching tonight and is in a relationship when it comes to red flags?
When it comes to red flags, respond and respond appropriately. And again, I'm going to refer to our scenario or our study today. Respond to the lights the way you're supposed to respond to them. If it's a red flag, it's a red flag. Don't excuse it, don't explain it. Because people who end up in toxic relationship, abusive relationships, people who end up in emotionally abusive, physical abusive relationships, the red flags were there. The person had threatened to stab you, the person had threatened to beat you, but you decided to overlook it. Oh, they were drunk, oh, they were jealous, oh, this was led by that, this was caused by that. Don't overlook, respond appropriately. Always imagine a scenario you're in a traffic stop and somebody isn't responding to the lights as they're supposed to. There is going to be a collision somewhere. And by the way, to give you evidence on what I'm talking about, because people always want to say that does not apply to me. If something was to happen to you as a person, for example, if somebody was to pour acid on you, or if somebody was to stab you, or if somebody was to hit you and cause a particular damage to you, and you're required to go and make this a political case or report a criminal case, and you went to the police, the investigators, the first question they will ask you, is there somebody in your life that has ever threatened you with this particular kind of a thing? If you listen to most cases of rape, somebody had threatened them and told them, one day I will rape you. Very few cases of opportunistic crimes happen in the society. Most of them have already been perpetrated. Some of them have been insinuated. Some of them have been suggested. Some of them have been shown by action. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they are doing something and your intuition is telling you you should be concerned, please be concerned. And one way to respond appropriately is to give each other space, to step out of it. If you're in a relationship with someone and they're constantly talking very negatively about your friends, oh, I don't like this friend. They don't like all your friends, they don't like anything about your family. They don't like anything. And when you go to their family is concerned about them. Everybody can't seem to get along with this particular. There just has to be one person that this person can at least get along with. When they're talking about their exes, do they demonize their exes? Anasemanga, oh, huyu alikuwa shetani, huyu alikuwa hii, huyu alikuwa hii. What part did they play that resulted to that separation? If you can see the red flags, if you can hear them, if you can smell them, if you can almost touch them, kindly, either go to Indigo. Indigo is the yellow light. Stop for a minute and wait to decide, do I want to go or do I want to stop? Please follow the lights according to the traffic lights, and they will help you in relationships. If this person, earlier we forgot to mention one, ile yenye mtu anakughost, ameenda out of the country and they ghost you, or they come out, yes, and they go,
or alternatively,
you
you've
forgot.
gone out and they ghost on you because they have
They
remained
ghost.
at home. Well, we are watching you from a distance. Yokabi and I will be talking to you next week. Remember,
We'll be
on
talking to you.
Saturday at the same time, we are hosting a show here on the Family Edition. Huko msilete tu tabia utu Dubai. We'll be talking to a family. So we want to talk about co-parenting. Are you in a relationship that has happened that you are divorced or separated from your spouse? How do you co-parent healthy, or rather raise your children healthy without necessarily bringing a rift in between? So stay tuned on Saturday for that edition. And on Friday, there's something for you too. On Art in Heart, of course, on these all media channels that you're streaming on, we will be bringing you the Meme Nation. You get to laugh a little bit. The meme lords of Nairobi or Kenya, be sure to join us because they'll be here. So see you on Friday on the Meme Nation. See you on Saturday on the Family Edition on co-parenting. And on Sunday, definitely see you on Against All Odds with Kim Life. See you then. My name is Likuyani Eli, and it's time to sign out. How about you, Lukuyani?
Well, my name is Nyokabi GK Kamau, and I'm your all-time relationship coach, and I'm always here every Wednesday at 9:30 talking about matters relationship. We discuss relationships from beginning, from sex to anything. Wednesday is the day. Gang yangu wote wanakuanga hapa. When it comes to Saturday, we talk about matters family, the family unit, the nuclear family, and how we are supposed to handle it and how we are supposed to deal with the extended family at the same time. 9:30. So do not miss any of these shows. So I want to appreciate each and every one of you that has been able to join us. Hata kina Zwena wenye wamechelewa kidogo, karibu sana. The show will re-air on itself, so you can easily watch later and leave your comments down below. So don't forget to follow me on YouTube at Nyokabi GK Kamau, on Instagram Nyokabi GK Kamau, on LinkedIn Nyokabi GK Kamau, on Facebook Nyokabi GK Kamau. All of them is Nyokabi GK Kamau. Please just follow. And if you have a personal issue that you feel that we need to address, my number is 254-780-810-987, and I look forward to hearing from you. So hit me on WhatsApp and leave me a message, and I will definitely respond. And now, Mr. Ele, let's wind this thing up, man.
Let's call
Let's
it a
close it.
night. And for everybody that has stayed until the end of the cast, there's nothing more I can say apart from a big thank you. Remember to subscribe, share, and like the page. You know the handles. That is at the Arts in Heart or / Likuyani Eli, as simple as the name goes on the screen. That is the page to like, follow, and subscribe to. Equally subscribe to Nyokabi GK Kamau on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all those other social media pages, including YouTube. And do not forget Tina Kagia's page. That is on Tina Kagia. That's simple. I mean, we give you the simplest of them all. And last but not least, remember, we have the YouTube channel. So hit us up there. And the
Ellie,
YouTube,
before you
yes.
go, Ellie, one of these fine days, one of these Wednesdays, we will surprise them and host Tina Kagia here.
Wow, awesome.
Atuambia kama akona mtu ama ana mtu. So keep
Huyo
following. Go and follow
aliniambia
her
ako
page.
lonely but not alone. So
We
that
need
is
to
the handle
find
on
out.
YouTube. That is the handle on YouTube. Kindly go there, subscribe, and get to watch all this stuff because there's so much packaged for you. My name is Likuyani Elias. Always a pleasure to bring you these shows from 9:30 p.m. East African time, and that is 8:30 p.m. Central European summertime. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Till next time. See you then. I'm out. Likuyani Eli.